Hey Jack, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Thanks for picking up my call. Yeah, camp couldn't be better. Couldn't be better.
How are things? How's life?
Yeah, very good question. I was just gonna ask you the same question, right? The thing is, yeah, I mean, recently, like, I got really tied up with my work recently, and then after that, like, after I finished my class, after I finished my regular work, I got to like tutor a couple of students, which I think is quite lucky, which is one of my biggest side hustle recently I'm working on.
Yeah.
And one of the students, like, she's really into ping pong, right?
Oh, very cool.
And I think she's like really reserved and shy person, but I think she got some energy like going on in her heart, and she's planning to study abroad like next year to America as exchange student. So
Oh, wow.
I've never actually played a ping pong with her, but she said it's gonna be a very fun experience.
That's very cool.
And since I heard that you're gonna come very soon, I really, actually, I have a class with her today, like 11 o'clock through Zoom, right?
Oh, okay.
And I really want to like settle down schedule sometime during next weekend, so that like we all three could possibly potentially like can play together.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
But yeah, how's going in your end, Jack? I think I've seen you really upbeat and nice photos on Instagram. With I guess you probably made some Korean friends.
I've made a few friends, but unfortunately, I actually have to head home December 5th. I'm flying home. There's a family emergency, so I have to head home. So I have to cut my time in Korea short. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Um, and I'm kind of so next weekend I'm planning to come to Seoul to see my friend Katie and visit you before I leave. Because my friend Katie is now a teacher in Seoul, and then obviously you're in Seoul. And I wanted to kind of like say goodbye more or less before I leave.
Oh
So
no,
yeah,
seriously?
yeah, it's very sad.
Wait, does it mean that you're gonna have like let's say a couple of weeks of break and then come back to Korea after you deal with the family issues, or
No, I'm gone for good.
oh, so that's even like less than a year, and that's even before your contract's gonna be done.
So it's 6 months. So my contract, if once my so 6 months is like right at December 5th. So
Hmm.
my contract, I won't have any issues. That's what I made sure of when leaving. So I have to go home and help my family with
Okay.
a lot of problems.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm leaving. Yeah, it's very crazy. It's very crazy,
Yeah,
but
we never know how the left's gonna go. Like actually,
exactly,
so.
exactly. You know, I never knew I'd come to Korea, and then I came to Korea, and now I have to go home.
Oh, what a
Very
life, Jack!
crazy.
What a life. I mean, yeah. I mean, I hope. Yeah. So that's probably the biggest reason I must see you this coming weekend. I'll probably, uh, yeah, prioritize like meeting you other than other trivial schedules.
Yeah, yeah. So I will probably take a bus to
Mhm.
Seoul Saturday morning. So I'll wake up early on Saturday,
Mhm.
take the bus, and
Mhm.
then I should be to Seoul by probably like noon, like 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Mhm.
And then I still have to find out what my friend Katie is doing. But if you want to meet on Saturday or Sunday morning, or maybe early Sunday afternoon, I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Speaking of that, like, I'm totally down with like meeting your friend Katie as well. Or you could, if you want to like meet us separately, that's also perfectly fine. I'll
Okay.
open up the availability for your convenience at earliest, and then yeah. So, did you already like finalize your meeting schedule with Katie?
No, I have not. I have not. So
Okay.
that is something I need to do also.
Yeah, I mean, we still have like a week to think about. So once I'll probably try to like get a couple of like time slots from your end. And I'll also ask her opinion, my students, and it's perfectly fine. If she's not available, then that's fine. That's cool. We two
Mhm.
just hang out like the other day.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I don't want to give you any pressure, and this is gonna be pretty cool set, but like
Yeah.
fun farewell.
At least I get to see you. At least we get to have some fun.
Exactly.
How are things with your job? I see you're always so busy. And are you still dating
Yeah.
that one girl?
No, it's actually I think I got to like break up with her because it turns out that she got a lot of mental issues, and also we were in a long distance relationship during this COVID
Ah,
period. So we ended. I don't know if it's a bad, but I think it ended like quite peacefully or not
yeah.
somewhat a little bit dramatically.
I understand. It happens. It happens. That's part of relationships, right? Sometimes they're very nice. Sometimes they're crazy.
You're spot on, my friend. You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. So I think
Exactly.
that's the lifelong task for all guys. We all should work on understanding female mentality.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I'm not trying to get myself obsessed with like finding a partner right now. Rather, I'm more of focusing on saving up my money and upgrading my skill set to move on to the next life career step, I would imagine. And thankfully,
Yeah, yeah.
Microsoft Korea contacted me, right? And then I submitted my resume. But the point is, there are a lot of like opportunities out there. But I still remember Dr. Sam Hance, the president, like kind of commencement speech.
Yeah.
He said, only in school you get an answer. You're told to what you're supposed to do and whatnot. But after you walk out of this Wofford, there are gonna be so many options or life careers, a path that you would take. Nobody will tell you like what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, I'm glad that I majored economics. At least it taught me like a study of choices.
Exactly.
But that didn't solve me quite. So yeah, I mean,
But you're the one who has to solve the problem, right? You have the choices, but you have to solve the problem.
exactly. Yep. That's what I'm exactly where I'm at. And then yeah, so dating is not my priority, but again, like this is the end of the quarter in years, and a lot of my students are skipping classes because a lot of my students are early 30s or mid 30s, like kind of like guy or girls usually.
Yeah.
And they're about like manager positions, and they have so many they got so many things on their plate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My company as well as a startup. So I also had this discussion with my mom, right? Whether I want to do a business like you once you go back to America, and or gonna keep working for a company as an employee.
Yeah.
But
Because
mom, hmm
both are nice. But as an employee, I don't know with your company, you probably get benefits or like insurance and
hmm
other things.
hmm
But when you work on your own, you have the independence to do whatever you want. So it's like if you're your own boss or you have a boss, right?
mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a kind of good analogy. It's if you're either you're on the box or on the. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could you repeat the
So
sentence again, Jack? I think I should teach the
yeah,
expression to my students, right?
yeah. I mean, it's either you are your own boss, so you're the boss of yourself, or you have a boss. And it depends. Like there are good things with working for a company, right? Because a company has stability, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot less risk working for a company.
Right.
But at the same time, because you don't have the risk, you have to play by their rules, right? So you have to do what they
Mm-hmm.
say, come to work when they want, and do what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you work for yourself, you don't have the comfort, right? It's discomfort because it's only you, but you can do whatever you want. So it's like it's two sides of the coin, right? Two sides of the same coin. So one side you have comfort, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to play by their rules. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to do what they say. But the other side, you don't have comfort, but you play by your own rules, right?
That's
So
a.
it's
Mm-hmm.
it's both are good, but it depends on what you want. It depends on what you want to do, and if you have an idea and you want to pursue it,
Mm-hmm.
I've been always told like you're supposed to try, you're supposed to fail, you're supposed to figure things out while you're young. Before
Mm-hmm.
you have a relationship, before you're married, before anything,
Mm-hmm.
fail now, learn now, so you can be better in the future, right?
Wow, that kind of mentality is taught by your parents, or would you say your relatives, or?
I kind of feel like it's something I have learned over time, right? It's not necessarily my parents. My parents want me. My parents want me to have a job, right? My parents want job.
Mm-hmm.
They want security. They want comfort.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I feel like you need to learn while you're young, right? While you can fail, you should fail. While it's okay to make mistakes, so you can learn as much as possible. Because when you're old and you make a mistake, it's much more dramatic, right? If you make a mistake, you can't go to work, then your children don't have money or they don't have food, right? Do it now while you're young, you know?
Wow, yeah, that's I think such a good spirit. I mean, people like tend to try to like keep reminding that, but like over the time they got used to what they're living and what they're like feeding and around them usually. So, they are apt to like forget about that fact. But it's kind of consciously reminding the fact just also helps me like keep booted up and like kind of motivated.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're a very intelligent man, Kevin. You're gonna go far, whether it's with this startup or doing your own thing. I feel like you'll find your place.
Thank you very much. I'm really flattered, Jack, but I personally believe that I still have a long way to go. And it's probably, you might can tell, there are a lot of smart, intelligent people in America, and probably so do in Korea as well. So,
but hey, it doesn't matter. What matters is you. Matters is what you want. Because as long as you push, as long as you keep pushing, you'll get it. It doesn't matter. Comparison is, when you compare, you rob yourself of your own success.
Wow, so amen, right.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if you constantly say there's someone smarter than me, then you'll never feel smart. If you constantly say someone's better than me, then you'll never feel good. So you have to realize, like, sure, there are people better than me, but I'll outwork them. I'll do something better. I'll do something harder.
Definitely, Jack.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jack. I really like your kind of high morals and everything. I really appreciate your self morals and high self esteem, and the reason why I find you very special is among a lot of the Waffle friends who grew up in southern redneck with a lot of the rich privileged families, right? They usually don't want to get out of their comfort zone or their shells, but you're very different. You're kind of quite opposite. You want to sort of build up on your destiny. You want to break whatever the glass ceiling that's ahead of you, even though you have probably like comfort way, maybe you have shortcuts to be easily, like you said, like be successful or something. But I think people like you, when I worked at Google, like a lot of people were like you, but not all of them were immigrants. That was the fact, right?
Yeah.
But I highly appreciate your fact. I also feel the same way, Jack. I think when I first heard the conversation when we had the sushi restaurant at Gangnam,
Yeah.
You told me that, hey, Kevin, I want to do business after I go back. You little bit, laid out your blueprint after you met me, and I was like really like stunned, and they were starstruck me, in a positive note.
Wow, really? I didn't think it was that impressive.
Because all my like Wofford alumni, they just like want to either take over their dad's business, or a lot of girls from sorority. It seems that they're still living on a yacht. If I check on their Facebook or something,
Yeah. Or it's like it's someone else's yacht, or they like date someone, or they work for a big company. Yeah. I know.
But yeah, speaking of your life in Jinju, would you say you were satisfied, or do you think at least you learned something about these 6 months of staying in Korea as an Asian country's experience?
I've definitely learned a lot in terms of like the culture and the social culture of. Well, I mean, in Jinju, I know Jinju is a lot more conservative than let's say Seoul, and it's been a good kind of window into life. In Jinju, I've made a lot of friends with university students, and believe it or not, I've made friends with some very older people. Like, I haven't really found any middle-aged people. I either have, like, university students about my age. Like, I'm 23 in the U.S., but in Korea I'm 24. But then, like, a lot of other people who are, like, 25, 26, 22, 23. And then also, tonight, I just finished eating and drinking with coworkers because I work for Jinju City Hall. So I work for the City Hall, and I made friends with the City Hall workers who have a soccer club. Wow. And they invited me out to drink with them, and they're like 50, 60-year-old people. So it's it's been very cool to talk to very different people and like understand a lot of the culture in Korea too, because there's a lot of pressure put on Korean people for education, for obviously when you're a man, you have to go into the military service for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, it's been very eye-opening to see a different aspect of life. Also, the work culture in Korea, definitely, like, I've read about it in other Asian countries too, but especially in Korea, like, I work from, like, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. most days.
Oh, my gosh.
But, I mean, like, that's the usual day for most people, right? And, like, my boss comes to work way earlier and leaves way later. And the work life is very different in terms of the amount of time you spend at work. It's very eye-opening to me, like, the differences in work life. Wow. And that's been really cool. Also, that, too, it's just cool because Jinju, you probably know, has the fortress, the Jinju Castle.
Yes.
So it's been really cool learning about, like, Korean history from, you know, the 1300s, 1400s, like, long time ago.
Exactly.
So it's been very cool. I'm very thankful and very lucky to have had this experience.
Wow, I'm really glad that since like it was not other person but Jack Dextrous, who took the most out of this experience and took the advantage of staying in Korea. There are like some foreigners who try to make friends, try to mingle and blend in this kind of Asian culture, but sometimes they fail. They sometimes just go clubbing or go pub drinking beers, and they don't want to even again, they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. But it seems that at least you try to stretch out yourself a little bit, to try out and everything.
I've definitely felt, there's definitely culture shock. There's definitely plenty of moments I've had like difficulty, and I'd love to ask you when I see you in Seoul, kind of like what were the biggest culture shocks for you coming to America? Obviously, because my perspective is obviously coming to Korea after living in America, and Korea has so much like better public transit and transportation and getting around, and obviously Korea's a little smaller. But in terms of like your perspective, like coming to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and like there are no buses, no taxis, only your friends' cars if you have a friend with a car. Like, it's crazy.
Oh man, you don't know how frustrated I was. I first landed at Greenville GSP Airport. I mean, I didn't at the time like try to denigrate any of America, but I was like, this is really different from what I used to see on like Netflix, or at the time there was even
or
Netflix.
Like watching like K-dramas or anything, or like any TV shows of like what America is.
Hollywood movies.
In Los Angeles or New York.
Oh yeah, I was like, wow. I thought like there are definitely two interpretations. First was, in a positive note, is like, I mean, Americans are so strong, independent, and they don't, because just by looking at how the houses and buildings are sparse and they are like just located apart from each other, I thought like they're really strong, independent. They don't feel lonely. They may not have any depression. They're just like so hot-blooded Yankees from like I don't know, northern whatever, the Sweden, that kind of country. Maybe their ancestors were so tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, is probably they're, I don't know, maybe lazy or laid back. So maybe they are not investing their monies to make any like metro like Souls or subway transit or transit system or something like that.
Yeah.
Why are they sticking to any barbarian sort of system? Even though I know that they are fully capable of reaching much beyond any expectations or limits,
Yeah.
So those ambivalent feelings like coexist in my heart. But the more I mingle and blend in Wofford community, like wow, like those kind of superficial or external, intelligible, like tangible, whatever the feelings or my assets totally have been gone away, But rather, I was like, I got to admit that I was really mesmerized, like how great Americans are in general. I really like their spirit. I really like how, since I was Christian, I also like met a lot of Christian friends and Christian values, especially a lot of things were from professors, or for example, like Miss Cassie from Borwell, and how.
Yeah, Miss Cassie, she's the best.
Yeah, she was on Tinder, by the way, but
she was on Tinder?
Yeah, she actually had a she had a date with one guy. Su Hong told me, the Korean guy said, "Hey Hyung, big brother, do you know that Miss Cassie was on Tinder?" I'm like, "How did you know that?" And he said, "My roommate was trying to find a girlfriend by swiping photos, and he actually had a date with the Miss Cassie." I'm like, "Wow, that's one of the fucked up stories that I've ever heard." Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh Oh my God.
But Jay, wasn't it definitely that was definitely a point that you really got homesick or miss your food or family, friends, right? When you're in
Yeah,
Jinju?
definitely. Like, my sister. Well, there have been like crazy things ever since I left home. There have just been crazy things happening. A friend of mine got really sick, and then another friend of mine. I don't know if you knew him. His name was Timmy. He went to school at Wofford. He died 2 months ago.
Because of COVID?
No, he was diabetic. And he had, in his sleep, he had a spike in his sugar level. So he just died in his sleep. Just crazy out of nowhere. But yeah, it's just like ever since I've left home and gone to Korea, things have just been going crazy. So my friend Timmy died. My friend is in the hospital. He's sick. He has cancer. And then my family is now just having lots of problems with health, and then other just I don't know how to describe it.
Like
just
relationship or something?
Yeah, relationships and just I am the glue that holds my family together. And since I left for Korea, there has been no glue. So
yeah, I definitely relate to how you feel. Yeah.
So it's just been crazy. But I've been super lucky with the people I've met, and I joined 2 soccer clubs.
Amazing.
So I joined.
Did you kill him? Did you kill him?
What?
Did you kill them in soccer? Like I bet.
I did not kill. No, I kill no one. I'm a good sport, Kevin. You know, I'm not as good as you. You were good when you played with us.
Did I? I sort of can't remember. I think I was pretty.
You played only a couple times, but we liked when you played with us.
Oh, did I? Oh, maybe. Thanks for remember. Oh, we were all playing with the heck.
It was Sergio was there too. Do you remember Sergio?
Man, I remember the crew like Hector.
Yeah, Hector, Sergio, yeah.
Because the thing is, you definitely could feel how big soccer is, and in my company and in military, whenever you go with any guys club, the first subject is soccer.
Yeah.
In my company.
It's international language, Kevin. International language. Soccer is international.
You got the idea. So in my company, like they were asking, hey, like, did you play soccer and blah blah. And actually, I mentioned like that soccer experience. When I was in Wofford, there was a guy named Sergio, Jack, and Orlando. Those crews, like class of 2020, right?
Yeah.
And I told him that I could not remember how much fun we had, but I definitely had much fun when we like did the training before we started a real game on the pitch. Do you remember like the Sergio used to bring the triangular cones and
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
and somehow you guys were very professional in helping us like warm up the basic going around. What is it? Do you have any like professional terminology for that?
Just like a warm up. Just warm up.
Yeah, but
just warm up.
But warm up, let's say there were 2 people in the middle, and there are 6 people like a standing like a circle, and we sort of.
Yeah, like a passing drill. Yeah.
Yeah, you said a passing syndrome? Yeah.
Passing drill.
Oh, exactly, passing drill, exactly. And then on other shooting drills, that was probably one of my best memories because, yeah, when I was freshman, I also played soccer, right?
Yeah.
And then at the time, it was very competitive. There were not a person like you who played like a sticky glue to everyone, And then everyone's still competitive, jealous, and we played with guys from like there was one kind of small medical university across Wofford.
Oh, BCom. Right.
Yeah, so we all the time play with them, and we all the time had a like physical fight. It was so bad. So we campus safety like were there. Some of them got arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Oh my God, really?
It got really bad. So what I thought after I finished my freshman, I went to the military in Korea, right? So I sort of vowed to myself, I'm not gonna ever join Wofford Soccer Club. Like this is one of the best, one of the worst experience. But after I came back, I really like you guys. We all took same comp sci classes together,
Yeah.
And I got.
Sergio. So when I told Sergio I saw you, he said he liked you. He said he always thought you were really funny in class.
Yeah, he was one of the character,
Yeah.
Little cute chubby ones. Yeah.
He's a chubby boy. He's a smart chubby boy.
Yeah. He's working for a bank or something, right?
Yeah, he's working for I believe it is what is it? Wells Fargo.
Oh, one of the biggest southern financial bank, right?
Yeah. So he's a part of, I forget, but he's making good money. I know he's making, I think at this point he's been working for what, 2-3 years? I think he's making $80,000, $80,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe more if he's doing good. I don't know. But I know when he left out of school, I think his offer was $72,000 a year.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's good money, man. He's making good, but it's nothing like. Do you remember Nathan Putnam?
Oh yeah, the Indian guy.
Yeah, Nathan, man, he makes like $500,000 a year, man.
For doing what? Oh wow, that's like that's wow, eye opening.
Yeah, he's on another level, man. He's up there. He works for what is it called? What's it called? I know the name. Salesforce. And he got his internship. Yeah, while he had cancer, he was recovering from cancer and coding every day.
I remember that.
And then after getting cancer, he got an internship at Microsoft, and then internship at Salesforce. Salesforce flew him out there, paid for everything, gave him a really big offer. Now he's on a super high-level coding team. Yeah. And then he's also going to graduate school. Man, he's on another level. Kevin, I look at Nathan, and I'm just like, wow.
Wow, so coding was the best cancer treatment for him.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's like actually blowing my mind. Like even not 40K, but 400K. That's like almost like a price of a house. He could like own a couple of houses in America.
Yeah, he could probably own a couple. I mean, he gets taxed a lot, I'm sure, but still, like he is very successful for his age. Very successful.
I'm glad that we're all Warfare alumni. Yesterday, I talked with Freddie Madrid by just Instagram DM.
You talked to Freddie? Yeah, Freddie and I are still quite close.
Yeah, so is he still? I remember he was one of the most impressive students, like who came to America as an immigrant from Honduras. Yeah. Also had a big passion about soccer, and he was a school president. After graduated, I sort of lost contact with him. Well, what is he doing right now?
He works for a company called Gibbs International.
Oh, okay.
They sell very large, machinery and equipment. So they purchase like farm and factory equipment, and then they sell farm and factory equipment. It's a very big company. I think right now he's working there and also getting his a graduate degree at USC Upstate. And then after that, I don't know what his plan is, but I think he's going to work there for maybe 4 or 5 years.
Makes sense.
And then figure something out later. You know, I always mess with him. Sometimes I talk to him about business ideas and stuff.
Amazing.
But he's doing very well also.
Yeah, I mean, just as a recap, like, Jack, this is definitely not going to be our last time meeting. I mean, I really...
No, not at all.
Please keep me posted even when you go to America. Please keep me in the loop, okay? And then...
Of course.
But yeah, speaking of the schedules, like, so we'll definitely meet for your end, preferably on Saturday rather than Sunday, since you have to go down to Jinju, right?
Yeah, so, okay, Saturday.
So
okay.
I'll think about either lunch or dinner time, definitely.
Okay, perfect.
I'll keep you updated with that, and then we'll have more serious talk when we meet in face-to-face. I appreciate you picking up my call, Jack.
Of course. Thanks for calling me, Kevin. It was a great phone call. I'll see you soon, my friend. Have a great night.
You too, man. I'll keep you updated, all right?
Okay, perfect.
Have a good night, Jack. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.